Hello everyone, and thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to you, as long as it's sports and as long as it is Arsenal related, right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host Abu Kals, as I'm definitely dedicated to bring to you the latest trades as it comes in. The latest that we are getting from the club Arsenal is quite a lot, and we definitely have a lot to talk about. We've got to talk about Moises Caicedo, we've got to talk about Romeo Lavia, we've got to talk about Balogun. Quite a number of football players have really been linked to the club Arsenal, and the fact that Arsenal has already had a few football players in, one of them being Kai Havertz, who goes to Chelsea makes a move to Chelsea from makes a move to Arsenal from the club Chelsea. And then we've also got Urin Timber really, who is also a very good one, very good football player, very good defender, who makes a 38.5 million pound transfer from Ajax Amsterdam to the club Arsenal. And also the latest being Urin Timber, who's made a 105 million pound transfer to the club Arsenal, record transfer after Nicolas Pepe. Nicolas Pepe was worth 72 million pound, and now the current Arsenal record signing actually is none other than the football player himself, the defensive midfielder, versatile midfielder, and that is none other than Declan Rice, the English international, and also the West Ham international. All these three transfers are deals that are done, sealed, and confirmed. Anyway, now let's talk about what definitely is happening in the transfer season right about here. Transfer sessions really going on with quite a big number of clubs really interested in signing Balogun. It will be remembered that Inter Milan is leading the race for signing the football player. Inter Milan talking about an exit really of Inter Milan. Of Balogun, Inter Milan are really interested quite a lot. A lot of clubs are interested in Balogun. A lot of European clubs are really interested in Balogun, and it really shows you how good he is. He's quite a very good football player, and the club Arsenal's come out and put a price tag on Balogun. No 50 million pound, no Balogun. How do you rate a football player? Let me know in the comment section what you definitely think is the best price for the football player. But I personally think that really 50 million pound is quite okay, because where he's been is definitely played very well, and that's one of the big reasons as to why he's being hunted for by quite a big number of clubs. We've got other exits to talk about, but right about now, let's talk about Urin Timber. Urin Timber is already at the club. Let's talk about Romeo Lavia. We remember that Romeo Lavia is a Southampton football player. EFL Championship is where Southampton is after being relegated, and the fact that he is seen as one of the best football players at Southampton. Really, Southampton has had a bit of hard time to say goodbye to the football player, and that really shows you that they really wanted him. They still want him, but they've got no chance. I don't think he can settle for playing in the EFL Championship. He's still a very young football player. Possibly if he was a bit older, I would be thinking, oh, I've won everything. I've had quite a good time here and there. Let me be in the EFL Championship and help Southampton. But he's just at the genesis of his career. Then really that shows that he's into a big move. You'll remember that not only the club Arsenal is interested in Romeo Lavia. There is a big number of clubs that have been linked to the football player Romeo Lavia. Romeo Lavia really has been linked to, apart from Arsenal, he's been linked to Chelsea and also been linked to Manchester United plus Newcastle and Liverpool, with Liverpool being the biggest threat to the club Arsenal when it comes to Romeo Lavia. Really, things are going on quite tough when it comes to this transfer, but the club Arsenal is really doing well, and Arsenal is going for the fourth signing in a row. The fact that Urin Tim is already at the club, Kai Havertz also already at the club, and also Declan Rice at the club. Really, 3 football players, 3 done deals, and the latest done deal is being Declan Rice. We're looking at getting yet a new deal to be done. Anyway, you can let us know what you definitely think. Let us know what you definitely think about the football player. Let me see what actually is, because I'm getting a bit of a notification here. Anyway, seeing really how these football players could definitely fit in. One of them being a defender, 2 being midfielders. Really, you can see it's going to be a different Arsenal the next season, and it's going to be a much better Arsenal, I must say. And right about now, talking about Declan Rice, really, Declan Rice is going to be a very wonderful one, I must say. When he's played for the club West Ham, he's always been an exceptional football player, and I don't see anything that's going to stop Declan Rice from really excelling at the club Arsenal. If he's excelled at West Ham and played against big clubs and played against big clubs, and really he's really showed that he is the best defensive midfielder, and he's a versatile midfielder. He can rotate quite well. Really, is gone on quite well. Anyway, with Romeo Lavia, Arsenal are trying their level best to make sure they can land Romeo Lavia. The fact that Arsenal has spent over £200 million already this summer transfer window. Arsenal is still trying to make sure that they can also land yet other football players, much better football players than the football players that are definitely available at the club Arsenal. Anyway, you can let us know what you think about Romeo Lavia and his move to the club Arsenal, as Romeo Lavia is being valued at £50 million, and Arsenal are trying to go into negotiations so that they can so that Arsenal can really possibly get into something like a 30 to 40 million pound transfer. Anyway, let's hope all will definitely go on quite well for the football player. Anyway, still, let's talk about yet another football player. Let's talk about Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo is an Ecuadorian professional football player and plays as a defensive midfielder for Premier League club Brighton and Hove. Right about now is into a move to the club Arsenal. However, I will be remembered that Arsenal is not the only club that is interested in the football player. He's been hunted for by quite a big number of clubs, with Chelsea being the biggest threat. Chelsea is trying to make sure they can sign the football player Moises Caicedo, but Arsenal is not giving up. And I got a post before. Let me check this post. Talking about Moises Caicedo. And let me see what have we got to see. What have we got to talk about Moises Caicedo? Saying Ghana still eyeing Moises Caicedo, and this is from Sky Sports. And also, not only is Sky Sports talking about the football player, but also there is another source that we are getting here, The Sun, which is also a reliable source. Arsenal are still keeping on tabs on Brighton and Hove superstar Moises Caicedo in the summer transfer window, according to reports from The Sun. The Gunners tried to sign the midfielder in the general transfer window but failed. Only for Brighton and Hove to turn down all the approaches. But right about now, he's available, 100% available. Brighton and Hove superstars available in the transfer market, and he's valued at £100 million. Arsenal has already spent £200 million. We could see a budget really expanding to £300 million plus, because already it's £200 million plus. So we definitely know that Moises Caicedo really his move to the club Arsenal could be a bit tricky. It's a bit hard, but it's not unachievable. It's achievable if Arsenal is willing to put in the amount of money that is definitely needed. Then why not? The fact that Arsenal is looking at making sure that they can sell a few football players and also get a bit of more money to finance the transfer. And also Inter Milan serious about 50 million rated Balogun. Inter Milan are seriously exploring deals, option deals for Arsenal striker Florian Balogun. Inter have pulled out of a deal for Chelsea striker Romeo Lukaku and see Balogun as one of the next one for the future. Yeah, Inter Milan really. The reason as to why Lukaku actually was Inter Milan said goodbye to Lukaku, is no longer interested in Lukaku. Lukaku was seeing Inter Milan, talking to Inter Milan, and Inter Milan really about the transfer, about him making a permanent move to Inter Milan because he's on a loan. He's been on a loan, and Chelsea has written to Inter Milan and told Inter Milan really. Actually, Chelsea wrote to Lukaku and said, we definitely need you back at the club. It's an order, it's not a request. So he was talking to Inter Milan, and his agents were talking to Juventus. And when Inter Milan realized that that is what is going on, Inter Milan really said, we are not going on with this transfer. We definitely have to cancel this transfer. You can go on and negotiate with other people. And that is the people whom they really made were Juventus. So he's returning back to the Premier League, but let's really hope things go on quite well for him. But there is no chance for Arsenal signing him anyway. But so where where he comes in, Balogun is a target for Inter Milan because right about now they're not seeing Inter Milan is not seeing signing of Romeo Lukaku on a permanent deal. And Balogun, the 50 million rated young Arsenal superstar, is on form, and he's been scoring on almost every game that he's been in. And he's still young, despite the fact that Lukaku is quite old. He's still very young. He's got quite a big amount of time on his side. And definitely that really shows you that there are very big chances that the football player is going to sign for Inter Milan. And Inter Milan are really looking to be very serious with the £50 million transfer. Anyway, you can let us know what you definitely think about the transfer, and really it's gonna be quite good news. And also talking about yet another one. Let's leave Balogun alone. Let's leave Balogun alone. Who's we need to see who's leaving the club and is linked to an exit, you know. As let's talk a little bit about Thomas Partey. Partey aging closer to Saudi Arabia League. Anyway, let's say Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey has agreed personal terms ahead of transfer to the Saudi Pro League, says Sky Sports, and also the Sunday Express. Then the Ghana midfielder, who's 30 years of age, is expected to leave the Emirates this summer after the Gunners finalized a club record fee of £105 million for Declan Rice. So anyway, we could be seeing him move, but also from another source, it is said that Juventus are very much into his move. Juventus are exploring on different ways on how they can sign Thomas Partey, and we are also getting that the Saudi Pro League is also interested in him. There's quite a lot of money flying when it comes to the Saudi Pro League, but hopefully things will go on quite well for the club, really, and let's really hope things will go on quite well for Arsenal, and Arsenal will sell the football player, can get a bit of more money and really buy the football player. Anyway, let's get the party rolling one more time. Whom should we talk about? We've talked about Moises Caicedo, Romeo, Lavia. We've talked about Thomas Partey. Big number to talk about. Let me see who else we can talk about. Declan Rice already signed the deal. Still eyeing Moises Caicedo. That's a deal that is done. Urian Timber, done. Okay, Arsenal complete £38 million for Timber. That's deal done. That's old news. We definitely need the latest news. And let me see what's gonna talk about Moises Caicedo. I already talked about him. Then Edu flies to Brazil for Bitelo talks. Oh, that's good news. Let's see. Arsenal sporting director Edwards reportedly flown to Brazil for a transfer of Gremio over the midfielder. With Gremio over the midfielder Bitelo, according to the Daily Mirror. The paper also reports Newcastle face competition from Celtic in the race to sign Arsenal's out of favour left back Kieran Tierney. Anyway, that's what they are saying. That's what they definitely are saying. But really, everything is moving on quite well for the club. Arsenal has already made a few transfers, and things are really moving on quite well for the club Arsenal. And let's hope really everything will keep on falling into place, as we definitely know that there is a big chance that Lavia could end up at the club Arsenal, and the fact that some of the football players have already signed, Arsenal is still looking at different ways on how they can definitely sign more football players. Anyway, I think for now I should say thank you. Should I say thank you? Let me see. I think I should say thank you. Thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related, right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host, Abu Kals, as I tell thank you and goodbye for now. Do not forget to subscribe. I remain Abu Kals.